It was Christmas Eve, and the house was bustling with relatives, laughter, and the smell of roasted turkey. I had been looking forward to spending the holiday with my family, hoping for some warmth and celebration. Instead, I was told to stay in the garage. The cold air bit through my coat as I stepped inside the garage, shivering. My parents had muttered something about me being unnecessary and always a burden, and the rest of the family seemed to silently agree. The garage, cluttered with old boxes and tools, became my unwelcoming holiday prison. At first, I tried to shrug it off. I sat on a crate, wrapping myself in blankets, trying to tune out the laughter and music from inside. But the chill wasn't just physical. It was the sting of humiliation that made my heart ache. Hours passed. I watched through the dusty windows as my family ate, laughed, and exchanged gifts. The lights, the warmth, and the love, or at least what they called love, felt like a world I was no longer part of. Then I remembered. I had quietly invested in a tech startup years ago. My family had mocked me for wasting time on silly ideas and playing with computers instead of focusing on life. Little did they know, that startup had grown into a multi-million-dollar company. I smiled faintly to myself, a plan forming in my mind. It wasn't about revenge. It was about truth, recognition, and making them see the consequences of underestimating me. Around midnight, I received a call from my assistant. "Congratulations, the final acquisition went through. You're officially the owner of your latest company." I grinned. Timing, I thought, could be perfect. I waited until the family had gathered for dessert, still oblivious to my growing success. Quietly, I slipped inside, unnoticed at first, carrying a small stack of envelopes. "Happy Christmas," I said cheerfully, holding out the envelopes. My parents and cousins looked at me, puzzled, eyebrows raised. "What's this?" my mother asked, suspicious. "Just a little Christmas gift," I replied, a calm smile on my face. "Consider it recognition for, well, letting me be underestimated for so long." One by one, they opened the envelopes. Inside were letters confirming stock options, ownership percentages, and details of my successful ventures. Slowly their jaws dropped. Whispers filled the room. She owns this? All of it." My father turned pale. "But we treated you like..." His voice trailed off, unable to finish the sentence. The room was silent, except for my quiet laughter. I had never felt more vindicated. I watched as realization sank in. The laughter that once excluded me turned to awkward silence. The warmth they hoarded for themselves suddenly seemed cold in the face of my success. I didn't gloat. I simply smiled and said, "Sometimes the people who push you down don't realize they're helping you climb higher." By the end of the night, they were speechless, and I felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The garage, the cold, the humiliation, it had all been temporary. My worth, unseen and mocked for so long, had finally spoken for itself. Walking to my room that night, I felt a quiet peace. I hadn't just survived Christmas Eve in the freezing garage. I had transformed it into a moment of triumph, one they would never forget.